Hello there and welcome back. This is Amir from Stack AI. In this video, we're going to learn about one of the most common use cases of Stack AI, and that would be compliance detector. You see, in legal world, in many verticals, including pharmaceuticals, banking, insurance, healthcare, companies must ensure every single interaction between customer and company is compliant with companies and governments' laws and regulations. Doing so at scale is really time consuming and expensive. Companies hire teams of dozens of individuals manually going through transcripts of phone calls and SMS, making sure they're compliant. Now, we can do that automatically, reliably, at scale using Stack AI. Let's dive in and learn how to set this up. Okay, the way we're going to approach this is using a series of LLMs and technique called few-shot prompting, meaning we provide some examples. So let's get to work. I also like to give our users the ability to be able to upload documents. And for example, let's say they have their documents in text files. It's a transcription of their phone calls and they just want to upload it and see whether they're compliant or not. So I'm also going to add a documents node under data loaders and expose it to users. And I'm going to add an OpenAI LLM node. I'm going to connect both of these inputs into this section. For the instructions, I'm going to give it these instructions. So you can maximize this part by clicking there. And what I provided is you are a strict reviewer of sales messages. You check the compliance of these messages for a startup in a heavily regulated space. Then we have some examples and some guidelines, what to say, what not to say. We have a list of flagged words. Note, you can of course use a document node under knowledge bases if you have a long list in a CSV file, for example, or in a text file, instead of providing this statically here, which I did in this case. Then we have more guidelines, more flag words, and we ask it to respond with a brief analysis, less than a paragraph, and only with a couple of sentences. I'm also going to add an output node to see what the output of this LLM is. In the prompt section, I'm going to give it the documents as well. So I type doc, one open curly brace, and then you select doc. For the next step, I like to add another OpenAI LLM and give the completion of the previous LLM to the input of this LLM, as well as both of our inputs, which is the document node and the text inputs node. I'm going to leave the model as 3.5 turbo. For instructions, I'm going to give it this. We ask this LLM to only respond with a number. So 0 is a number between 0 and 1. So we also give it some examples, some guidelines. We also provided the list of our flagged words. And if the message is compliant, respond with 1, otherwise respond with 0. So 0 meaning non-compliant, 1 meaning compliant. I'm also going to add another output node for this LLM. And in the prompt section, giving it the doc as well, one open curly brace, doc. You can also give it the message from previous LLM, but I'm going to do so. So previous LLM message. So far we have two LLMs blocked, and one responds with a brief analysis, second one responds with 0 or 1. I'm also going to add another LLM node and give the completion of the previous step to its input, as well as both of our, let me drag and drop them a little bit closer. I'm also going to connect both of these nodes to our last LLM. For its instructions, I'm going to give it to also asking this LLM to respond with only with a number 0 or 1. So if it's compliant 1, otherwise 0. And we also have examples. If it contains like credit card information, for example, respond with zero. And we provided a bunch of examples. And let's give it another output as well. So we have a system that is capable of taking text and files and respond with a short analysis and two numbers, 0 and 1. And for the last one, I'm also giving it doc and okay. Okay, and that would be our setup. Let's publish. Once published, let's go to export. And I think for this case, form would be a really good option. So I'm going to click on form. In the form, let's go over general, give it interface name, compliance detector. I helped you with detection of compliance violation. Then we can have passwords, which I'm going to leave them off. And for the inputs, let's also select our inputs. So let's say like the message to be checked. So this will look really good on the interface. And for the output, let's select all three. And let's say something like this as the alias. And let's go and see how it looks like. So I go to export option. This is the form UI. You can see its name along with its description. The field, we can put text. So I'm just going to something like my credit card info is, and just give it a bunch of numbers. And they can click on the button to upload documents. And these are our output fields. So if I hit submit now, you can see the short analysis, 0 representing not compliant, 0 and the same here. So we learned with this setup a nested series of LLMs supervising each other, and with few shot prompting technique, we can have an AI assistant system which can detect whether the conversations and interactions are compliant or not. I hope you enjoyed and see you in the next one.